What a lovely little carp, hey mate?
Beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it's lovely. So you've been here since last night, this afternoon?
Yeah, got down here yesterday afternoon. We're on Farlows 2, and yeah, I've caught 3 so far, mate.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, is it this time of year? Yeah, well chuffed with that. Had a few bream as well, unfortunately.
What were your tactics?
Solid bag tactics,
Oh, okay.
maggots, corn, bit of boilie in there as well.
I've been getting the rods out. I've just turned up, so I'm probably going to go the single hookbait approach for this time of year.
Yeah,
And hopefully I'll have a few of these.
hope you do.
Yeah.
Right, we better get back.
Yeah, let's get back. Okay, right, James just put that lovely fish back. My approach, I've never been to Farlows 2. I've fished Farlows 1 before, but I haven't fished this lake. So I'm sort of easing my way into it. I'm going to fish 3 singles. I've already put out 2 rods, 1 on a fluoro yellow, 1 on a food bait, because I think it's always, even though I like fluoros at this time of year, a food bait sometimes can really do the business, really sort out the better fish as well. This rig I'm going to be using is just a sort of naked straight away through fluorocarbon. It's because you can't use leg core here. I like the sort of pattern oyster sort of setup. It's just a multi-rig with what I do is I put a little number 4 shot on there first and wrap the putty round so it's critically balanced, so it just floats down lovely on the lake bed, so when a fish comes across it, sucks it in, it goes quicker back into the mouth and it produces more bites. It does for me anyway. Little light lead, as light a lead as you can get away with. 30-pound hook link, nice strong sharp hook there, fluoro pop up on, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm going to get that out, I've got the other 2 out, and we'll see where we go from there.
Well, I've just slipped that fish back, and so it's time to make up another solid bag so I can get it back out there and hopefully catch a bigger one. So I'm just going to talk you through how I do my solid bags. Rig is very, very simple, just using an inline lead with some soft, supple braid, and that goes through to my hook bait, which is just corn with some maggots on top, but I'll talk more about that a little bit later on. So first things first, what I like to do is just nick on a tiny little bit of PVA. That's PVA nugget. As you can see, it's trimmed down tiny. This is just so that when the bag melts, the hook bait's left nice and proud and literally just falls off when the PVA nugget melts. So I'll get my solid bag first of all. This is one of the medium quarter solids bags. Okay, so first of all, I put a tiny little bit of bait in the bottom, like so. Then I follow this with my hook bait. Everything has to be dry, obviously. If it's not, then it will melt the PVA. Basically, before I pop the rig and everything in the bag, I do just place it into the mix just to keep it nice and dry and take off any moisture. So I've placed hook bait in. I then follow this with the bait. As you can see, the lead's sort of dangling halfway in the bag. Keep putting bait in. I then slowly ease the lead up towards the top Now the key to fishing bags is to try and keep everything as tight as you possibly can. So halfway up, I rattle all the bits and pieces down towards the bottom of the bag. Now I'm using maggots on this session and a few boilie bits as well, so I'm not going to get it as tight as I normally do when using pellets on their own. In an ideal world, I'd be using just 2mm pellets. That's how you get really, really tight solid bags. But on this session, I've decided to fish maggots and bits and pieces as well, just for extra attraction, and so the bag isn't going to be quite as tight as I'd normally like it, but I'm only fishing 60 yards out or so, so I'm able to get there with slightly more sausage-like bags. As I say, if you want a mega tight, just use 2mm pellets. You get them like absolute bullets like that, but on this session I'm not, so they're not going to be as tight, so bear with me. Anyway, we're nearly there. I'm just going to place a few more pellets and maggots into the top of the bag like that. Keep easing that lead up to the top. And you're going to need a bit of tail rubber showing there as well, because that's what you're going to wrap your bag around, and the PVA tape to keep it nice and tight. So keep rattling the bait down. It is a bit of a process this if you want to get the perfect bags. It does take a bit of time, but the tighter you get them, the better they fly out there. We're nearly there. Okay, so keep easing stuff down, easing the bait down. Right, okay. Now you want to squeeze everything tight. Keep around, I don't know, 1/2 inch at the top to twist around the stem of your tail rubber. And again, keep pushing all that bait down, keeping it nice and tight. That's the absolute key. You want to get all the air out of the bag if you can. Okay, then we twist around the tail rubber. Again, trying to keep everything tight. I can't reiterate that enough. You want to keep pushing that bait down and keeping it tight. Okay. Right, it's about as tight as I'm going to get it with the maggots in there. Twist it around the tail rubber, and then you need to get a little bit of PVA tape and wrap it around the bottom like so. Go around 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and then you need to tie it off with some granny knots. It's all fingers and thumbs at this point, but we will get there. So there's one granny knot. I'll do about 2 or 3. That's enough. 3. Pull it nice and tight. 4 for luck. Like so. There we go. Nice and tight. Then I like to trim the tag ends of the PVA tape like so. Okay, right, we're nearly there. Bag's looking quite nice at the moment. Pretty tight. I then trim off the excess PVA like so. This just neatens it all up and helps it travel better on the cast. There we go, looking nice. Okay, just to tighten it up even further, I push the corners in like so. And again, if you just had pellets in here, it would be rock solid. Just fold them up like that. Just makes it a bit more aerodynamic as well. Fold the other corner in like that. Lick and stick. Okay, and there we go. We have a nice solid bag ready to go out. I don't puncture holes or anything like that. All that's going to do is make the melting stage even quicker, and it might even explode as it goes through the water. I keep it all nice and solid like that. I've got 3 ounce lead in there, so that will go down to the bottom nice and quick. So yeah, lovely solid bag. I'm going to get it out now. Well, that was really out of the blue. That is going really well. Well, I was just making a much needed brew for myself and Leon, and bobbin pulled up tight, clutch started ticking, and we're into a carp. And it actually feels like a decent fish. I could tell yesterday they were the small ones, they were sort of real jaggedy sort of fights, but this one's been really slow and it's kiting left as we speak. So I'm going to stop chaffing and try and get her in. Here we go. Yay!
Well, I've never seen anything quite like that.
Oh, Leon, something's awake. Well, no sooner had I just netted that lovely one and Leon's alarm started screaming. We've had to leg it over to his swim and voila, he's in. How's it feeling, mate?
It's feeling alright actually, yeah.
Superb.
Just off that spectrum.
2 bites right out of the blue.
Right when we thought it was all, nothing was happening.
Yeah, it has been rather quiet, hasn't it?
It has been quiet. It's like lull before the storm sort of thing.
It was. They do fight well, don't they? Oh, come in. Oh, that's a corker. That's a corker. Yes. Well, what an absolute cracker. This is why we came to Farlows 2. A scaly beauty, taking on a solid bag once again. This one was on the maggots, and as I netted this carp, Leon's rod ramped off and we've netted something rather special. So I'm going to get this chap back, blow the water off my nose and go and have a look at this lovely scaly one that Leon's got in the net. That bad boy.
Well, here we go. After landing Jimmy's spectacular fish, beautiful scaly one, just look at this scaly beast of a mirror, fully scaled from Farlows Lake 2. This is what you come to Farlows for. I've driven past here many a time wanting to catch one of these scaly beasts, and I haven't been bothered weighing this fish because the weight is immaterial when they look this good. Now this fish took one of those corkball pop-ups that have been doctored with the liver and the minamino, and I'm going to show you when I get her back just what I do to enhance my hook baits. Right, you may have noticed that Jimmy's using solid bags and I'm using single hook baits. I've got 2 fluoros, an orange one and a yellow one on 2 rods, and I've got a life system corkball pop-up that I've been gugging in 2 particular liquids that work really, really well any time of year, but especially in the late winter and springtime, and that's minamino and liquid liver. Now, I find the attraction of what's in that liver and that minamino is just something a little bit different to your solid bag, or something just a little bit different to your normal fluoro that everybody else uses, and it just pulls the fish down. What I do with this hook bait is I get the corkball pop-ups straight out the tub, pour them into a bigger tub, mix the 2 liquids together, pour them on top of the corkball pop-ups, give it a good old swish around, leave it for a couple of days, another swish around, and let it mature for about a month. You can use them straight away, but they work better. The longer you leave them, the better they become. It's like you're sort of curing them. You know, like you do with salt and with meat and things like that, you're sucking in all those really good liquids that a lot of people don't use nowadays. It's quite an old school technique to do it. Sucks it all in, stick one of those on your hook bait, and you know, it's just a nice alternative to like a bag like Jimmy's been using, or the single fluoro approach, which is really good in the springtime. So give it a go, guys. It's definitely worth doing something different from the norm.
Well, I'm quickly tying up another solid bag because I've just had a bite. So that's 2 bites within quite quick succession. So I think there could be a shoal of carp out there. So I'm going to tie this one up quickly whilst the fish is still in the net, and you never know, might get another quick bite. But I'm pretty chuffed all the same because we've had a few fish between us now and they're all really nice ones. So I'm just going to tie this up, get it back out there. We'll take a look at that one. Well, yet another scaly Farlows 2 carp. Forget how many we've had now, but must be 4 or 5 fish, and they're having it. So we're having a lovely time, taking on a solid bag once again, along with the maggots. It's probably about time I actually showed you what is in my mix. So I'm going to slip this one back and show you the mix that I'm using. I like to keep my solid bag mix very, very simple, with the main emphasis on being on very, very tiny particles in it. That's because I want the bag to be nice and compact, which allows it to fly straighter and truer in the air. So, as you'll see, I'm using tiny pellets. These are 2mm krill pellets. I'm also using 2mm halibut pellets as well. They have different breakdown consistencies and different oil levels as well. To that, I also add some frozen water snails, a few maggots, and some very, very fine crumbed up live system. And I'm also adding some micro salmon feed. The main reason for that is it's a very, very fine dry powder, and the water snails are a little bit damp when they come out, so the powder will just dry them off and obviously stop that PVA from melting. So a very, very simple mix that can be pushed down really tight inside a solid bag so it flies out there nice and true. Is obviously extremely appealing, and it has been on this session.
Here we go, guys, another victim to the food bait. We couldn't let Jimmy have all the fun, could we, catching all the fish today? So we've managed to sneak another one out. Nice common this time, first common we've had between us. Beautiful fish. Just shows you how, you know, a little bit of thought in your angling, different methods, just putting them in the right place, being confident in what you're doing, and yeah, you can reap the rewards at this time of the year. Well, I'm going to get her back, get the rods back out again, see if we can catch another one.
Well, we're getting into late afternoon now, and it's time for me to make a move before the traffic. But we've had a good time, haven't we, mate?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's been good to get the rods out together, catch up, have a little bit of social.
Yeah.
And see different tactics that we both use.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's been nice to have a few nice fish, some stunning scaly fish as well.
I know.
Fight like demons as well, weren't they? It was, yeah, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed looking at you fish, and it's totally different to what I do, and it's just
Definitely.
a bit of a, learn a few little bits about bag fishing, which I know nothing about really.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the varying tactics was the interesting bit. I've obviously fished for lots of bites from anything really, and I have had lots of bites from carp and bream, whereas you haven't actually been touched by the bream, but you've had 2 banging carp.
They've been lovely. I mean, we've both had some really nice they're so scaly in here, aren't they?
I know.
I can't believe how nice. I've always wanted to come and fish here, and when you said, look, let's get down, let's do a little bit of filming and have a catch up, and that, I thought, yeah, I really fancy something.
Yeah.
It'd be good to see what's in here,
Absolutely.
Some really nice fish.
Oh, good. Well, glad you enjoyed it, mate. I'm going to get off on the motorway.
Yeah, I hope you beat the traffic anyway.
And hopefully you'll get
hopefully I'll have a couple more tonight.
Yeah.
Me and Brycey. So it'd be on the camera.
Hopefully.
But you never know. It's sod's law. What will happen now is we won't catch something else.
Nah, you will, mate. You will. Top man. See you soon.
Have a good journey, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Would you believe it? Jimmy's just pulled away to go home, his long journey home, and the middle rod's away with the orange fluoro this time, not the food bait. I reckon that the fluoro colours are working better as dusk's coming on. But we shall see, because I'm going to still fish 2 fluoros, 1 food bait tonight, and we're going to see what happens. Hopefully we'll have a few more of these to show you. I'm going to get him back and get the rod back out, and hopefully have some more to show you during the night. Right, it's just before dark, it's getting dusk, it's just starting to rain, we've got rain all night long. I'm going to stick with my plan of attack, 3 single hook baits, 2 fluoros, 1 food bait. I'm going to stick with that all night because it's done well. We've had 4 bites, I've lost one a little while ago, and we caught that mirror just about an hour ago, just before the light started to fade. I've got an option in the morning, if nothing happens, if I see a fish show anywhere in the swim, to the left, to the right, I can reel in one of them single hook baits, ping it on top of it, and I'm angling. I'm nearer to a fish, rather than if I put loads of bait out, stuck the rods on top of it, then you're sort of like, oh, do I want to bring it off, do I not? And you may miss a chance of a fish or a couple of feeding fish, and just ping one of those singles on. So that's our plan of action. Hopefully, we'll have a couple more to show you in the night. If not, we've got our options open in the morning. Good morning, welcome back to Farlows Lake 2. It's just got light, and unfortunately I've just lost a fish. But nothing all night. It's been raining, pouring down like you wouldn't believe. It definitely seems, from Jimmy's catches and my catches, it's all been daytime bites. It's also been good to see that we can catch them on lots of different tactics, and I hope you've learnt something and given you some ideas how to approach your fishing with the different types of tactics at this time of year. And on reflection, it's been a really good 24-hour trip. We've caught some absolute scaly bangers between us and had a really good, enjoyable time with friends down at Farlows Lake 2. So if you get a chance, guys, to come down here, it's definitely worth it to catch some of them really nice fish. And that's me. I'm going to pack up, head home, and I've thoroughly enjoyed myself, and see you soon.